Yo, what's happening, people? I am Tinchy Stryder, and this is Hit the Floor magazine. I say, flee. I like the name Tinchy Stryder. When you're like much younger, always younger, everyone went to like MC, write lyrics, and then everyone needed a nickname, but it was a bit easy for me, I guess, like Tinchy. I was always the smallest one out of everyone. I wasn't the youngest, but somehow I looked like I was the youngest, so Tinchy just came with it. Stryder was like another thing, I wanted a second name, and I thought Tinchy this, Tinchy, nothing made sense, and I thought Stryder. There was a game on, I think, Mega Drive before. I didn't even play the game, I just liked the name. I thought Tinchy taking big strides. It makes sense. So yeah, Tinchy Stryder, that's how that came about. If I was to be dead honest, from when I first started, when the career started with music, I didn't ever think I would reach where I am now. You know, and I'm so grateful for that. It was a hobby, it was fun, and you just used to get excitement from just picking up the mic and saying what you have to say, and started building. And I thought, even like little things I was saying the other day, like I didn't ever want to picture that I'll have like someone driving me somewhere. Like, really? Me, normal guy from Bo? But yeah, I didn't expect it, but I'm really grateful. I enjoy it all. My 3 albums, I'll say the best one, me personally, for me, I guess the first one, Star on Hood, but Catch 22 is something that was life changing. There's a lot of things I'm speaking about where it's like, wow, this is really the life. But the only thing with that is because I felt like I was making so many different tracks, and then we had an album, and it was a good like, I guess, recording process. But Star on Hood's got a few things where it means some deep things at the early starts where you didn't picture anything, so nothing like the first, I guess. Did I always want to be a rapper? I guess no, music was a hobby. I wanted to be a footballer. Football, that's all I ever wanted to be. I remember when I was like, I think maybe 4 or something, my mum told me I can name you so many teams in the 1990 World Cup. Yeah, that's when I was 4. And I was thinking, really? But I've always liked football. I've got a big love and passion for football. So music was like a hobby, and then it naturally just changed around. I didn't ever pick one over the other. It just naturally became like that. Who and what am I currently listening to? I'll say currently I'm listening to Interesting. In my car right now, Boy in the Corner, Dizzy Ross. Taking it back like that. And I listen to a lot of new things, and there's a lot of good stuff out, but if I was to be dead honest, like this very day, what's in my car is Boy in the Corner again. I just listening back on a few things, and I always realized, whoa, like my man, like Dizzy was ahead of his time, because some beats he was making then in 2002, 2003, people are making it now, and his thing's never been just a certain, he's never been afraid. That's another thing I'm learning, yeah, don't be afraid. When I'm not making music, away from the other like business side of things, it's hectic lifestyle, and I never like bigging myself up, but it's always, I guess, the headphones, clothing line, the whole label that I'm running, my own label now, the whole Cloud9 situation. But away from work, like when I'm just chilling, maybe table tennis. I've got table tennis at home now, I've got a room for it, and I'm just addicted. I like chilling, listening to music with friends, and sometimes computer games, but this current day, table tennis is what's my spare time, yeah. I feel like I've always been, I guess it's been hard for a majority of people to keep that blend of like, it's the more underground and the more mainstream music, but it's I always say people who I look up to, respect them for what they've achieved and what they're doing in music. You've always find that balance. You can't just be like, you can't trap yourself, you can't box yourself in like, do this or do that. I've never been someone who's been thinking, let me try and blend for both, but it naturally happens. I might be in the studio and then this beat might connect to me, and I want to do that. Or this beat, I don't really do things I don't like. Once in a while you might be convinced like, oh, do this one a favor, or jump on this or do that, but these days, nah. You know, if anything you hear me on, I always try and keep like that. I must have liked it. If I have to like it before you like it, that's all I've done. I ain't trying to just keep making. You have to keep yourself happy. If you don't know how to love yourself, you don't know how to love For everything I do, I get influence from day-to-day life, friends, family, and like I'm someone who I'm always, that motivation is there. It's like consistency. I always feel like I want to do this, I want to achieve that, and I'm never like, before I think this means I'm not grateful. Like I'm always happy, and people are like, why don't you show some more? I'm happy, but it's like someone said, oh, maybe you should get into acting soon. I'll be like, no, I want to get into directing the movie. I'm always thinking that other legs, and I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but at the moment it's not there, me too wrong, so I ain't complaining. Doing all these different things I do, I guess I'll say like first thing, music's always first. That's my heart. I feel like music, you can be upset, happy, it just reflects and put you in a mood. It brings people together, people from different countries that don't speak the same language, like the same song, they sing along. So it's a crazy special thing. With the clothing, I like clothing, I've always been into it, and that naturally came from my first album, was called Stonehood, and now just naturally it's got a clothing line where there's so many different stores actually selling your brands. It's a great feeling. And with the headphones, at first when I got approached about it, I was like, I don't know, because I don't want my name just next to something for the sake of, oh, let's make some money. Obviously business is business, but I'm more like, I thought, I listen to music. When you're making music, when you're just chilling at home, people on the train, you down in the gym, like headphones are part of it, and it had to make sure it sounded a certain way, because I'm into fashion, I like having it looked a certain way and appeal to the right people you're trying to get to. So that's what got me into that. And anything you hear my name to, it must be something I believe in and I'm part of, unless they came and told me, here's £1 billion for us to just put your name on it. Anyone that says no, they'll be lying. But for me, it's more like, I have to believe in it, and I have to meet somewhere halfway where it's like, okay, if it's going to be like this and my name's to it, it looks bad on me if it's not good, so I have to make sure it sounds right, it looks right. That's how the headphones come about. What's next for me? I say there should be afraid of what I'm going to do next. Hold up. What's next? I never really I'm someone who, I don't say there's always plans, but I don't speak on it. Say with the headphones, when everyone here heard about it, we've already done the deal when everything was set like a year or so before. So I'm always, you know what I mean? But what's next, who knows? But right now the main thing is, I guess, the Cloud9 label was the first time I've got my own record label, and I put out a song. This feels great. I just actually really, the day that the song Misunderstood was available to buy the first toast to something for you, it was a big achievement. Where I've come from to be, it's great, yeah. Misunderstood is like one of them tracks where I guess it kind of just explains and breaks down that everybody's misunderstood in one way or another. And so many things where I say it says in the hook, it says misunderstood like a shadow in the dark, it takes more than eyes to see who we are. That explains it, because everything's deeper than it seems like. So the first thing to the eyesight is more to everyone's story, and everyone's misunderstood because no one speaks enough and explains each other, and people are like, Tinchy, you're this or you're that. I thought I remember him when he was younger, he was going to be a footballer, what happened? And so many things that people always making their own, and I understand, I'm really misunderstood. People are like, is he like the artist, is he the business guy who does these underground songs and pop songs, and then he's just got to deal with this guy, and this is crazy, but people ain't understanding. So that song's like, yo, I am really misunderstood. I really am. And it's everyone in each way, because like someone who you might meet today might feel like what they think is right, but you might not understand why they believe in certain ways. And so it's just a general thing for the world, yeah. 360 Degrees is the name of the next album, and it's gonna be my 4th album. And the great feeling about that is that on the 360 degrees, because I feel like I've gone around and come back around, and right now it's like creative control, but full creative control, and that's a great feeling. Because when we first started, when we were like independent, we was doing Stonehood, everything was by ourselves, me and the team, management, and we got to a certain stage where labels, everyone was interested, wanted to be involved. So when I've done the deals and so many things happen at the stage, say with like clothing lines, Stonehood, it was like the labels, Universal, big them up, there was a part of it, helping it grow, they've done a lot for it. And musically, who I might work with, there might be ideas, and then I guess through I've been through emotionally, musically, everything's been around, relationships, you have ups and downs, and now I feel like I'm back and I feel stronger than ever. And I keep saying, sounding like the old me, looking like a new me, and just a full creative control, man. 360 degrees is the perfect album title for how I'm feeling, how the music sounding. It feels like, it's like everything feels like, whoa, it's like a theme to it. It's like, it feels strong. And I've been trying to hold it down, but it's the best project I've done today. Yeah. That's another key thing with this album. When it comes to collabs, it's like I might have recorded so many songs, but before I might be like, that's a good song, like me and her, or me and them, or me and him has to go on because that's powerful names and the song sounds cool. But now it's like, it doesn't matter how good a song is, if it doesn't fit into the rest of the project, leaving it out and being that harsh on myself. So as for collabs, there's a few I couldn't really say. There's people I've worked with, but the song might not be making it on there. But some songs that I definitely feeling like I'm gonna use. Say people that big up Gigs, because that's someone I really like and touched on albums. So the song's got a vibe to it. Big up JME. There's a lot of people who like I'm cool with, get along with day to day. It's more than music. We can check on each other, see how we're on it. So, and it's like I'm saying, the new production team I'm working with, Tinchy and the Brain. Big up Baku, and it's like a whole new team. It's a blessing. I haven't felt what's good for so long. It feels great. Yeah. You know what, the future, when people say what's the future hold, I always say hopefully bigger and better things, and you know what I mean, but one thing, this time I'm so focused, like I've always been focused, but I'm not. It's easy to get lost in the hype, thinking, okay, this is happening, that's happening, let's do this now. Now I'm just like, tunnel vision, I know exactly what I'm trying to see. Like I said, I don't speak too much, but all I can say is hopefully bigger and better things, and I just hope, like, you know, my main thing I always say before everything, family over everything. Like, when my family's smiling, I'm smiling, and I'm gonna be doing things to make sure we stay smiling. Everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, just Tinchy Stryder. So when you see Tinchy _1, Tinchy 2, Stryder, this, that, and all, Tinchy Stryder, misunderstood, 360 degrees.